Hey guys, Bobby here with Mississippi Gulf Coast Gardener. Well, I've put up a new cattle panel and we got a whiskey barrel and all the ingredients to make some really good soil. And today we're going to plant some Thompson Seedless grapes. But first I'm going to give you a quick garden update and then we'll get to the grapes. So here's all the regular garlic that I planted. It's all coming up really good. Some of them are a lot further along than others, but I'm really happy with how that's going. And next is the elephant garlic. I planted 5 or 6 cloves of that and they've all sprouted and are doing well. So I'm really excited to try those because I've never grown those before. So I'm very happy to see that those have come up, and they're perennials. They'll come back every year. Next is the strawberries. You can see a little frost damage on the original leaves, but right below there you can see that these strawberries are coming back strong, and strawberries are super resilient, so I'm not worried in the least bit about those. Right there you can see some of the frost damage, but they're going to be just fine, so no worries with those. And then I wanted to show you my blackberry bush. I trimmed it today. I got a lot of clips off of it, and you can see that it's already starting to sprout some flowers. It's ready to put on some blackberries, so those will be coming up probably in March or so. We'll be eating those. It's really hard to cut that back because you have to cut off some of the flowers, but that thing will go crazy if you don't keep it cut. But what I did do is took some of those cuttings and potted them up. So if I can get those to root, I've got some friends around here that would be glad to take some. Okay, so here's the grapes, and I've had these for a little over a week. So when I unwrapped them, I was very happy to see that they're still moist. And basically you're just going to put these in a bucket, fill it up to water up to where the soil stops, and let it soak for 2 hours. Alright guys, so let's get the soil ready for the grapevine. We got a little vermiculite. We got some peat moss, and finally we have some Happy Frog compost. I'm getting really low on my compost, so I went ahead and got a bag of this. I like this stuff a lot, and the reason I like it is because it's got composted forest material, it's got worm castings, it's got bat guano, oyster shell, and lime, humic acid, and granite dust. Just all good stuff, and it's a pretty good product. Cost a little bit more than the other stuff, but it's totally worth it to me. Next we're going to make our soil mixture, and I always start with the peat moss because it tends to clump and you need to get in there and break all those clumps up as good as you can. That just is the easiest way to start. And then we're going to add our Happy Frog, and I add about half of it at first, mix it up, and then I add the other half. I just like to make sure it gets mixed really well. And then finally we're going to add the 2 8-quart bags of vermiculite. I'd really like to have all equal parts, but this is what I had available, so that's what I'm using. Next we're going to add the mixture to the whiskey barrel, and what you have to do is just layer by layer. You're going to wet each layer as you go, and you got to wet it really good because up underneath there will remain dry if you don't. And obviously when you plant your plant, you want it to have a nice moist soil to go into. So that's what we're doing here. We're just wetting every layer. Very important. So it's been 2 hours and we're ready to put the grapevine into the whiskey barrel. It's got a really nice root system, and I'm very happy to see that. Next, you just want to make sure that you get the plant turned the way that you want it to be facing, and get those roots buried deep in the ground, and give it a good drink of water. And I'm just using the water that I had it soaking in, and going to let that soak in. Going to straighten the dirt out and put some wood chips on top. Just make sure you angle your plant the way that you need to so that it can easily grow up your trellis. And also remember that The first year fruit is not very high quality, so just go ahead and cut it off and let the plant focus on growing. As always guys, thanks for watching and happy gardening.